Alright team, time it would seem for the periodical generations refresh, as legacy logs off and we at last give the long-hyped 13 primes more than 2 centimeters to breathe in the new thing for 2025, Age of the Primes. Or as the cool kids are calling it, Aotopa! And we'll kick things off with a reissue of a guy I got 2 years ago. I would have waited an eternity for this. It's Nova Prime. So this Casanova is one of those F-tier whatever villains who I remember being gassed up for ages during Transformers Devastation, not that one. And he was also famously teased in Transformers Devastation, yes that one, as a sequel hook for that follow-up that's definitely still coming, right? But I don't think he was canonically one of the 13 primes, more like some kind of charlatan or pretender falsely wielding his unearned title for clout. Wow, a power-mad imposter prime, what a concept. I mean, granted, he was around before Sentinel showed up in a meaningful way, but I'm not sure the world still needs his obnoxious edgy boy shtick, living as he does in the dark and twisted world of the dead universe, with his dark and evil matrix, literally called the Darkness. Ooh, scared of him, but he's here. And he's pretty. Anyway, this toy of Big Bossa Nova first arrived in Legacy Evolution in a big, gorgeous presentation box whose pomp was immediately deflated by the choice to wrap the toy in fistfuls of toilet paper, but it does recover in person. It's an admittedly really cool digivolved version of the toy that was Siege Ultra Magnus and Galaxy Convoy and then Ultra Magnus again, and Big Novalo definitely wears that heritage proudly in the extremely Magnus-y boots and what are very obviously Galaxy Prime's underarm mega blasters. In fact, I think it's just the head and the chest plate and the wings that are new, but they definitely do the job. Check him out, all impressively over-designed and anime as frig, like Ultra Magnus Endless Waltz. But whoa there! Pop your coat off, love, or you won't feel the benefit. Because as deep a mutation as Nova may be, beneath all the bluster, he's still just a straight Optimus Prime repaint, albeit a divine one, dazzling in white light from the mouth of infinity. Wow, a white Optimus Prime, what a concept. And it would seem there's a chungus among us. Because the body has to work for the Mega Mode as well, the basic boy comes off thick as hell. Broad-shouldered and full-figured, his titanic torso dwarfing the normal-sized head and limbs, but in a way that feels proud and body-positive and dripping with beef. And like, the central bot works fine as just a toy of a guy, with decent, if heavy-handed articulation. Those hips are thunderous. Siege was something else, man. You forget how much detail they chiseled into these suckers. It's every surface, dude, every square centimeter maximizing the extreme greeblage, body sculpted like a citadel, as immaculate a head as I've ever seen, and coupled with the gleaming white and gold, he looks straight out of future space heaven. Look at these gold-fingered gloves, I love it. And on that note, let's gear him up. Simply stash the head, unspur the heels, change the pants, drop the booty, and get equipped with Bastard Mode. The boots clamp noisily on to envelop the entire lower legs, giving him a bit of a height boost and a huge heel. Click clack, bitch. We got arm blaster accoutrement for the forearms and shoulder pads up top, and the rest is all backpack, bringing with it the new head and sternum slab, underarm enormo guns, and colossal fallen angel wings. It's the freakiest show. This is so sick, dude. So bombastic and theatrical and OTT in the best way. And sure, a lot of it's facade. I kinda wish the wings had more going on, and these hollow hypercannons look very naff in stored mode. But the optics alone are fairly mind-blowing. Nova is big and brash and loud and weird. Very glad that he can still move too. Like, all the armor plates are minimally invasive, bit of shoulder clashing, but he retains the waist swivel, and that head is just biblical, man, like all the scary bits of the Bible, bringing some of the angriest brows and the maddest head spikes in town. Come on, Amelia Earhorn. Love to see the Siege programming coming back for another big dub. Granted him 5 weapons of his own to add to the squintillion compatible accessories you can jam into his innumerable ports. The arm blasters pack in 2 blast holes and an extra port. These awkward ass mega pistols jam in an extra handle and slot inside their own handle. And I love so much that the shoulder pads couldn't bear to occupy a whole weapon port each, so they brought an extra one. Gotta respect it. So the idea of an evil equivalent to Optimus Prime is hardly a novelty. You might say, what a concept, but Nova feels like Prime's Galvatron. Like, what if Optimus caught some kind of deep space brain poison that twisted and mutated him into a phantasmical god-complex Goliath? Probably be this. Gotta say though, Nova Prime looked nothing like this in live action. Like, not even close. Not even Glenn Close. Is necessarily very disassembly heavy, but in a pleasant clackety way that smacks of the original Magnus trailer. Kinda like it. Not sure what's going on with the outer leg panels here. Like, we have pin hinges and what seems like a foldy flap, but it does not open. Somebody call Paul Giamatti, because we got us a holdover. And the alt mode hits like a fire engine, but the bad version? Not the helping people type, but rather the one they use for power hosing unarmed protesters. I don't know, I'm having trouble with this. It's a very unarticulated lorry, with the cab triple locked into the trailer too rigidly to flex. The cab at least looks pretty killer there, and honestly fares better on its own, fists and all. Love the battering ram bumper there, with the windows sneering down, all aloof. The Magnus influence oozes from both ends here. RID in the front, G1 in the back, and an absolute state in between. Like, come the f*** on, this is not great. It looks well ropey. You can kind of see the wings. It doesn't look finished. Maybe it'll be nice when they come back and take the scaffolding off. It's kind of a shame, but for Nova, this is the least important mode. I'm here for the robot to mega robot pipeline. The alt mode's kind of just here out of necessity, is what I would say if it was my job to make excuses for Hasbro's sloppier moments, which it ain't. It just lands kind of messy, which stings on a big $60 leader class toy. I don't hate it, but it should look better. Is that fair to say? Is that an overreaction? Is that a Nova reaction? So Big Nova Scorcher here certainly has his share of problems and couldn't you haves, but ultimately he's all about the statement, baby. It's a good big figure with plenty going on and bang for buck for days. And while it doesn't all hang together perfectly, it just looks so good that it broadly overpowers all my issues. Like, when I first got him, he lived on the mantelpiece in my living room for weeks. That never happens. Sure, he's one-dimensional, kind of incompetent, but he's big, and he's pretty, and sometimes that's all you want. So cheers for watching, join me soon for more primes, and believe me, much more age. It's Nova! Well, thanks for watching, crew. Good to be back. Had to take a minute off for some surgery. Sorry about that. Thanks so much to everyone who supports me, and especially this time, channel supporter Motherwatt. Catch you later, crew.
Be sure to subscribe for more Thew's awesome Transformers reviews. Limited appeal, keeping it real.